All right, good morning or good afternoon, actually, on this beautiful Monday that's a little bit windy. My name is Reverend Nickie Golden. I'm here with Reverend Mindy Tucker from Unity of Wilmington. And we have as a very special person with us, a very special person. Her name is Dr. Diana Zaccaria. She's a network spinal practitioner
and a licensed chiropractor in the state of North Carolina.
Yes, and she's somebody that I've actually personally gone to for about 2.5 years now, and finding that it's something I look forward to each Wednesday morning. That's where I tend to be. It's something that has enhanced my ability to feel, to be in my body, and to feel like I'm upright, if that makes any sense to you as a human being.
Well, how perfect that it fits with what we desire is to have that upright body, but a body that is centered and anchored in today's daily word, inner peace. I find peace as I look within to divine love. My desire to have a healthy body is part of my divine love, expressing my self-love. And I have no idea what you do. Actually, I do have a little bit because I watch YouTubes. But when I'm there, I have no idea because I'm face down and I'm relaxed and I'm in my zone. Like, my job is to follow the energy, and you have a job.
Yes. And my job is to use my analysis technique, the analysis portion of the technique, to allow your nerve system to direct me and leads me through the process of allowing your system to release the bound energy, which is the tension that we feel, and develop a more flexible and adaptable spine and nervous system, which we can all use currently, is to stay flexible and adaptable in the face of our current situation.
Right, so that's what we get when we go to you, but you've also given us some take-home practices to recognize our body signals for where we are, binding our energy, and then to do something about it, because mine is anxiety.
Yes.
I'm not giving away any secrets to you. Mine is anxiety. And I become anxious and fearful when I'm in the unknown. And I become anxious and fearful when I am in conflict or in uncomfortable energy. So what are some practices that you can offer us to do at home?
Fantastic. That's a great question. So there are breathing exercises that are called Semadar respiratory integration. And this is also a practice and a series of exercises that were also developed by Dr. Donnie Epstein, who is the developer of Network Spinal. And we can even just practice one really simply right now. We'll take our hands like this.
Does it matter which one's
Doesn't matter which one's on top. No, whichever's comfortable to you. And the first, we're going to place our hands so it's somato, it's the body with the breath, and integrating all the awarenesses. So the breathing will be in your nose, out your mouth. So you breathe in your nose, out your mouth, and you will focus the breath under your hands. And what you want to notice is first the breath. The movement of the body under your hands. Is it moving? Does it feel like it's moving freely, or does it feel stuck? Or do you feel like, wow, there's just not even anything under my hands? And then the next place we'll go to is right at the bottom of the sternum, right where the ribs come together. Same thing. Breathing in, focusing. Breath, movement, and perhaps experience the energy under your hands. Is it full?
Well, I know what I want it to be.
And that's bringing the mind in. So this first exercise is about just experiencing what you're noticing. So rather than what you want it to be, because as we go through it, we'll see about how it changes. We'll get to experience the change. The last place is over the belly button. Same thing. Breath in, out. Noticing the expansion of the belly. Is there ease there? Does it feel flexible? Do you feel connected? So, after we've assessed these three areas, you're going to choose the two extremes. So the one that felt the easiest, the most flexible, the most expanded, will go with what works.
Okay.
So we're going to go with what works.
Yeah.
So for me, this worked. Not so much here. So we'll go here and we'll take several breaths into the area of the ease. So as you're noticing the breath, the movement, and the energy, you might notice that you'll want to adjust your position as I'm doing here. And now we'll add the mind part. So this is the area of greatest connection, wherever we are right now. And we'll make a statement. Sometimes it feels disconnected.
So sometimes it feels disconnected.
Yes.
Sometimes it feels disconnected.
So now that we've got all of those awarenesses together, we'll take all of that and we're going to place it on the area where we felt the least movement, the least flexibility. And then we're just going to take a few breaths in here. And now let's go back to the area, go back to what works, go back to the area of most energy. We can make another statement here. Sometimes it feels like nothing's working.
Sometimes it feels like nothing's working.
Nothing's working.
And then we'll move back up to that other area. And again, notice, is anything changing here? Is there more movement?
Feels more spacious to me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And actually what I'm noticing is first the outer parts of my body began to relax, and finally I felt it here.
Oh, fantastic.
But I didn't even notice that I had my toes curled, but I changed my body posture in my easy place, and then when I went to my stuck place, that the pieces of my body actually began to ease, so I could finally have a glimmer.
Fantastic.
A glimmer
Fantastic.
of my stuck place.
And this exercise takes just a couple of minutes. Because I was explaining it and we were going through the process, this probably took 5 minutes. So you're finished when the place that felt less connected and more stuck and less flexible becomes more. And the area that had everything working was able to share that with the area that wasn't working so well. So now we have all of our places working. And this is a very good exercise to connect with ourselves, especially during our current situation. And because there's so much going on outside of us, we're receiving so much information from so many different sources, some of it's conflicting, and for myself, that can create a lot of anxiety. And this is a way to just ground myself, and we can ground ourselves by coming back to our bodies and our breath.
Which we have.
Mm-hmm.
Which we have. But I'm also celebrating the reminder that there's a lot that's working in our lives.
Yes.
There's a lot that's working and good in our world. And it's a matter of, is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Is it there? Is it there? But really taking the breath to notice what's working and inviting, like when I talk about healing in the body, I talk about cells. Tell your healthy cells to tell the cells that aren't feeling good what to do, because the healthy cells know what to do.
Yes.
So we're telling our body center that knows what to do to tell the rest of our body, you could do this too.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yes, because we have an innate wisdom in the body. The body can heal itself. The body needs no help, just no interference. That is a major tenet of chiropractic, and a lot of times our interference comes from here.
I knew you'd bring the mind back.
Yes.
Our marvelous mind.
It is marvelous. It is marvelous, and it's a wonderful thing. It allows us to do so many things. There are so many aspects of the mind, and it's just when we get stuck in that kind of wheel of the whole what ifs and oh my's and that wishing that things were different than they are, rather than accepting where we are in the moment, where everything is in the moment. I know for myself, regardless of the situation, if I am desiring for it to be different than it is, tension builds in my body. I create anxiety for myself through the mind because I'm wishing for something rather than accepting it where it is in the moment, and then I can move from there.
Yeah.
It's like you have to present yourself.
Yes.
And come home to yourself for this moment is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
And I think that we get in habits of thinking. The research on mind body says that by the time we're age 35, 95% of what we're thinking is an old pattern. We've thought those thoughts before, and we're just engaged in those familiar habits of thinking. And so what this can do is bring our awareness, our consciousness, because awareness is consciousness, bring our awareness to what we're actually doing in our body and give us space to change the habit of thinking.
Yes.
So I can use that marvelous mind to think about spaciousness, or I can use that marvelous mind to think about contraction. And I have to choose. But this is an exercise, it seems to me, that will give me the power to choose. Because what I felt when I put my hands on the place that was easy to breathe into, I just couldn't help but smile. I felt that gratitude. But when I'm up here, it's harder. But when I invited the smile part of my body to interact with the more difficult, soon my thorax or my chest was also smiling.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that description. That's great. And notice what I noticed as you were even speaking about this, the postures. Being open and smiling or being contracted.
Yes.
So our physical postures are a result.
I know, it's like, okay.
Are a result of our mental and emotional habits.
Mm-hmm.
And I would agree with you on the, by the time you're 35, 95% of you have habitual, it's like the autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
And to become aware of those, this helps to become aware of those and change those patterns. So you have a wider range to access, a wider range of emotion, wider range of energies to access in your daily.
But then we're using the mind as our ally.
Yes.
Right? The mind is our ally, or can be our ally. We're using our mind to remind us of a practice. We're using our mind to remind us that we can think a different thought.
Yes.
We can rebalance ourselves. Because I've heard you say a number of things, and I'm wondering if there's a visual where there's mind, like in Unity we talk about mind, body, soul, or mind, body, spirit. Is there that kind of balance sphere, or is that not a visual that happens in network spinal?
I still like that spiral.
Because our energy is spiraling in our spine.
Let me see well, as I'm working with you all and with others on the table, I am aware of different energetic intelligences.
Ooh,
So
I like that.
So we have bioenergetic, which is your physical, your connective tissues, your blood, your bones. There's the emotional energetic intelligence, and then there's the lower mental, and the upper mental. So the lower mental, as I see it, it's the sorting mind. It's really good. It's very black and white. It's like it's this or that. And that's also that part of the mind. I call it the monkey mind. If we let it come in control,
right?
It's really helpful. It's a great secretary. The upper mind is where better questions get asked. The observer is able to come in, and so there's more energy there. And then we have the soul and universal spirit. So those are all the energies that I'm assessing for through your physiology as I'm working with you.
I'm just laying there and it feels, well, it's like I don't feel anything, but I feel it. Like sometimes when I have bound energy that I didn't even know I had, and then all I feel is the touch and the ripple.
Yes.
And then she goes, yes, and I'm like, yeah, I felt it too.
Awesome. It is awesome. But so often those bound energies are so familiar to us that we don't even recognize it. That's been my experience until the release happens. Like, oh, I can take a deeper, fuller breath. I have a sense of, my word is spaciousness. I have a sense of greater space in my body. I feel more connected to all of the different parts of my body.
Yes. Yes. And there's we call it spinal neural integration. So there are the subsystems of the body. We have the passive system, which are the bones, the ligaments. We have the active subsystem, which involves the muscles, tendons, and then we have the neural system. So that's the nervous system, which controls the signaling and receives the information. And then we have the emotional subsystem. So the emotional subsystem has an effect on all of those other three parts of the subsystems. So in network spinal, one of the effects is that there is more efficient and more effective spinal neural integrity, meaning there's better communication between all the parts, so that it is functioning more as a unit rather than having blockages and separation. So it becomes more whole.
Well, that's metaphysics.
Of course.
That's what we teach in Unity.
And it feels great. I mean, it's a great feeling. Even if we don't understand all the little component parts.
Exactly.
The feeling in the body is just wonderful. And one of the things I've noticed across this COVID experience is that the moment that I saw that the governor had said that we had to go in lockdown, even though I had been spending way more time at home, I felt sad the sadness just came up. It's like because somebody else was telling me I needed to do what I was already doing. And I had to work that through and recognize, sort of track it back for myself, that it had something to do with getting in trouble. So some part of me thought I had gotten in trouble because here the governor is telling me I have to stay at home. But it was 2 days later, I was with Diana, and she's working at what I think is her magic on my body, and I got to go, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. That's an old thought pattern that's just simply coming up, and it's coming up to unbind the energy so I can make a clearer choice in staying home. So, and I can do so without feeling like I've been in trouble and I'm in timeout, which I was in timeout a whole lot.
But that's peace. It
But it
brings us back
was.
to peace.
Yes, it was very much inner peace. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that with me. That was amazing. Well, one of the things for me with this shelter at home orders that we're currently under is that we're being given time. It's this, okay, we're being ordered to shelter at home, being told to go inside. So I see that as a literal and metaphorical way. It's like, oh, so I literally have to go inside, and now I get to emotionally and spiritually go inside. I have more time for those things. Yes, lots of you are struggling with finances, with everything because of this. This has created a huge instability, and we're all looking, when we're faced with the intensity of the instability that we have right now, we all seek some form of stability. And that's where the mind a lot of times will come in. It's like, well, and then the gyrations happen. However, to find that place of ease in your heart, love for your neighbor, love for yourself, to just bring everything to a more grounded place.
To embody it is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
To bring it home to my body. Find the ease in my body.
Yes.
And whatever's happening inside of me is going to radiate outside of me. So then when I go to the grocery store, or because I need to go to the grocery store to buy something so that I can eat, then I can go and be a presence of calming in the grocery store rather than a presence of anxiety in the grocery store.
Yes. And as we are, we emanate out into the field. So the more ease we can have within ourselves, we can heal others with just our presence.
Yes.
Awesome.
Well,
and it comes back to finding that rock or that stability within you.
Yes.
Finding is what's working within you and amplifying that.
Yes.
You know, taking it out, but finding it here.
Yes.
I mean, I can't remember where you guys were, but I was here. Finding it here first.
Mine was here first.
Yeah, finding it and then breathing into that, so that naturally emanates.
Yes. And another way to practice that breathing exercise is practice it on the body, and then also for some people who are very kind of externally oriented, they might be able to they may want to practice it this way in the field. So finding that as you breathe, find those areas that, maybe the energy feels like it's pushing against you, there's less flexibility, and practice the same breathing, but utilize the energy out your external field. Find those places.
That makes sense, because I can feel like I can move way out in the area that touching my body felt very easy. But up here, where it didn't feel easy, I feel that it's almost like a magnet pushing back. That's how I experience the energy. It's thicker suddenly, and so.
Oh, that's an excellent description.
How do I go past here because it's thicker? So if I breathe into that, what happens to it? It begins to expand out a little bit. So.
Yeah,
it feels good.
It does feel good. Our whole connection feels good.
Mm-hmm. And the beautiful thing is that when we're practicing skills such as this, we don't have to think, oh, I can't be afraid, I can't be afraid. We can allow the fear to come forth, knowing that, oh, I have a skill to navigate the emotions that I'm feeling, whether it's fear or anger or sadness. All of a sudden, well, it's not all of a sudden, it's a practice of having the skill to navigate the moment it's happening. I can move in and touch myself, that place, and bring love to that place. Because the moment we're touching ourselves with love, we're going to naturally open up that energy field.
And love extinguishes fear.
Simple. Yes, it does.
Simple to say.
Simple to say, yeah.
Simple to say, not always easy to rise above.
But a practice, and get an accountability buddy if you need to, or write it down so that 3 times a day you practice this. You know, when you just before you eat, or do something that'll help you to engage in a practice that loves yourself and brings it home, that you're loving yourself.
Yes.
And
it's beautiful.
For ourselves, but also for the world.
Absolutely.
You know, we're back to the emanation. Find it here. Good. You're taking care of yourself. But as you take care of yourself, you're also taking care of the world.
Yes. Yes. Because as we are in the world, like I said, we are able to provide healing for others just by our presence. It's quite an amazing thing.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I've been around people where I come close to them and I feel more agitated, and other people I come close to them and I feel myself settle. And some people I come close to them, I just feel joy. So that we're really human tuning forks that are picking up the energy that we are from the field. And so in that emanation, I want to be the one in the room, and I want other people to be that too, but I want to make sure I'm one of the ones in the room that is emanating love or peace or joy. So it's one of my goals, my ultimate big question goals is, how can I experience more joy every day?
Yes. Yes. Well, one of the every day, so it's become a daily practice, particularly during our current time, of a gratitude practice. What am I grateful for today? I'm grateful to be here with the two of you. I'm grateful that you invited me to this conversation. I'm grateful that I have some bags of dirt in my backyard and I've planted some seeds. There's the littlest things to be grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
It's celebrate the small victories, and it could be just getting out of bed and getting dressed at this particular point in time.
Getting dressed. I had a great breakfast this morning, and I'm grateful for food.
Yes.
I don't always eat, so this is a good thing. Yes, I'm grateful I cared enough about myself to eat.
Yeah.
And we're here today, and you guys are watching, and then as we put this on YouTube and as it stays on Facebook, we watch the numbers go up of all of you who are watching, and I'm grateful for each one of you who tune in, whether it's for 30 seconds or the entire time that we're together, because each one of us can play a role in creating inner peace within us and outer peace within the world.
Yes, yes. And this, more than ever, it's time to come together in community, even though we're physically separated. And as Nickie and Mindy have said, come to find that peace within ourselves, it becomes easier to energetically connect with all the people that are part of that are nodes in our web. That's how I'm seeing this currently. It's like each one of us is a cross point in the thread of the web that connects all of us around the globe. So as we are able to care for ourselves and nurture ourselves during this time, to find that inner peace, to then focus on sharing it with everyone that we touch.
Yes. And I like the idea of being on a web that's stable.
Yes.
And not a
And how we have some control over that.
Yes,
how
we
we can
do.
bring the stability in unstable times. We can be that pillar of peace, so to speak.
Yes.
I love that.
Well, and instability can break old patterns.
Yes.
So instability is not inherent. There's no inherent good or bad in instability or instability. It's just like anything, too much for too long of either one can create an imbalance. So the instability that we're experiencing is an opportunity for us to emerge from this different and more caring, more aware of how our actions and thoughts and actions affect other people.
Our very way of being.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our very way of being. You are an amazing human being.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for
As are
saying
you.
Yes.
As are
And
you
thank
both.
you for being your amazing self and tuning in and listening. If you've been moved, touched, or inspired by anything you've heard, share this on Facebook. And you can go to unitywill.com, our website, and at the bottom of our homepage there's a donate button to say thank you.
And leave a comment, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what your experience is. And we'll come back to this and look at the comments and comment back to you. So it's another way of engaging in interaction from a place of a high consciousness.
Strengthening those threads on the web
Yes.
that we want
Yes.
to strengthen.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. So thank you so
Absolutely.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
it's been
you.
a pleasure.
Yeah. Awesome blossom.
That was great.
Yes, it is. I like it.
I have chills. That was great.
That was fun.